All right, what up, though? All right, audio check is good. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Detroit Lions Weekly for November 20th, 2025. Going a little early today. Got to do some things with the family at 4:15, so I figured I would hop on and go live now. Shout out to everybody in the chat. We got 36 viewers. Make sure y'all hit the like button. What up, Lane, member gang? We got Antoine, nephew. What up, Eric? Dolo Dynamite. What up, though? We got Rail. What's up, member gang? What's up, Fave? What's up, Mr. Dope? Member as well. What up? Hey, so we got some things to talk about, man. Make sure y'all subscribe to a couple new channels. Well, not new channels. One is Syndicate Sports Detroit. Been going live there every day for the last 2 weeks. We missed today. Conflict, family stuff I got to do. And then, of course, I'm going live on this channel. Can't forget about this one. And also Syndicate Sports NFL, man. I'm actually going to start putting content over there. I did my first Pistons video over there, man, over on Syndicate Sports Detroit. So I started watching the Pistons, man. They don't play again until Saturday, so I will be watching them Saturday. A nice distraction from football, man, and what we're going through now. And the good news is after football ends, they will still have a few months to go, man. Pistons are 13-2 on a 11-game win streak, man. So shout out to those guys. Haven't really watched the Pistons in a long time. Haven't watched basketball like that in a long time, man. And it's so soft. Like basketball is soft in the mug, man. It's kind of ridiculous. Shout out to Anna D. We got what up, though? 1H, what's up? Big Black for Life says, what up, though? This is Sports Talk with Rob. Okay, you changed your name. What up, Antoine? Pistons on the roll. Yes, sir. Okay, so let's talk about some things, man. This week, you know what, y'all? Is it just me, or does it feel different? Like, it feels like something is different in the air. And if you are not subscribed to Syndicate Sports Detroit, you need to go subscribe. We're talking Lions every day over there. And we've been having some real intense conversations, specifically about Brad Holmes. And I think a lot of y'all, man, y'all not going to like what the majority of, I think, the fan base, not the majority of the fan base, but I think that some things are going to happen this year if the Lions don't reach a Super Bowl. So let's start there. For you, what do you need to see this year to specifically continue to believe in Brad, and Dan, or just Dan? For the Detroit Lions Super Bowl aspirations, what do you need to see this year? What do you need to see? For me, I look, it's time to have the hard conversation. And this team is going into year 6. So for me, less than the Super Bowl, we got to have some conversations. Now, I have no issue telling you how I feel. You guys know that. And I think that this year is going to be a big part of that. But before we go any further, let's read some comments. Much love from Iowa. Hey, what up, though? It's crazy how that group of states like Idaho, Iowa, the Dakotas, like none of them have a football team, which is crazy, bro. That is crazy. Aaron says Super Bowl appearance. Lane says Super Bowl appearance. Unfortunately, if the Lions offense doesn't get rolling, I can see us finishing 9-8, 8-9. Okay, so Steve, you're saying that you can see us winning 2 to 3 more games. Who are those 2 games? 2 to 3 more games. Lane says offseason is going to speak volumes. Spirit of Detroit, what up, though? What's going on, man? Good to see you, my friend. Says Lions going to the Super Bowl and winning. Okay, says Tate. Need to see this injury-prone draft picks improve. Tony Dungy was good, a good coach in Tampa, but never got it done. Change the culture. But they won a Super Bowl with Gruden. Maybe that is Dan. Okay, full slate farms. We got to come back to that. So Super Bowl appearance. What's up, Will? Okay, all right. So now let's narrow it down. Who do you believe in less, Brad Holmes or Dan Campbell? Now, while you guys put that in the comment section, let me tell you where I'm at. This year is going to be and I've always said this, that year 5 was the year. Year 5 was the year that we needed to see that it was really going to be a divisive year for this regime. And I think that we're seeing that happen. If you missed yesterday's video, I'm going to show you a stat that's going to blow your mind. And if you missed yesterday's video, then why? Why did you miss yesterday's video? We've been doing it every week for the season. This is the Detroit Lions defense after the loss to the Philadelphia Eagles. What are you going to see here? The Lions defense is top 5 overall. Okay, that means there's only 4 teams better in keeping in yards per game than the Detroit Lions. And that's outstanding. But even what adds to that, if you look at the points per game, for the first time this season, the Lions rank in the top 10 in points per game. And they have, let me see. Let me make sure that that's correct. I'm looking. Yes, that is correct. For the first time this season, the Detroit Lions rank top 10 in points per game. And for the first time this season, they're top 10 and top 5 in defense, total defense, and points per game. That's a big deal. That is a huge deal for this team. That's a big deal. All right, so the chat says, and we'll do, let me do this poll, because I did this on Syndicate Sports Detroit, and we have a lower sample size over there. So I'm going to ask a question. This is just dialogue, y'all. Don't listen. Don't get mad at the messenger because I deliver a message. Don't be like Leonidas from 300, man. This is Sparta kicking me down a well. All right. You can only choose one. Let me put that in capital letters because I want y'all to really see it. You can only choose one. All right. Who gets extended? Because I want to get y'all sample size over here. What up, young Fred? What up, though? Okay, let me see. Dan Campbell or Bradley Matthias Jerome. All right, we'll come up with the results at the end of the show. Okay, let me see what the comment section is saying. All right. Brad, I believe in less. Brad Holmes. Antoine says, Holmes trust is falling rapidly, still full of confidence in MCDC. Aaron says Brad Holmes easily. Anna says, Dan, let's go. Anna, you being super biased right now. Let's go. Let me see. Where we at? Also, training and medical staff. I have lost basically all trust. I'll put it this way. If we don't even sniff the playoffs, Brad is on the hot seat for sure. What's up, Trey? What's going on, man? Our defense doesn't feel like other defenses. Rams, Eagles, Vikings. They know how to get after our offense. Rams defense could feast on our O-line. I believe in Dan Less. He's reckless. You have to know when points are at a premium. Really? See that? You know what? That's intriguing. And I want you guys to send me a text if you want to add more, because I think that's intriguing. I think that's intriguing, man, to believe in Dan Less. They're joined at the hip, says Trey. Dang, bro, didn't know you was live. Yeah, I've been on for 5 minutes, bro. I extend both. I fired training staff. Okay, so we got a variety of different opinions in the comment section. And nobody's opinion is wrong, right? But we also have to look at it like this. This is the way I look at it. You have players who have to go play the game. You have coaches that have to call the right plays and put them in the right positions. Then you have the general manager who has to get the proper talent on this team. And for me, my beef is with Brad Holmes. That's it. That's it. It's always been with Brad. It always has, right? And I wanted to talk about this. I talked about this on my other channel, and I want to get you guys' opinion. Do you think that Brad Holmes has peaked as general manager for the Detroit Lions? Notice what has happened the last two drafts. We have been without a second first-round pick, and he seems very pedestrian, right? Am I wrong here? Am I wrong for saying that Brad, the God Holmes, is now a pedestrian GM over the last two drafts? And do you think I'm out of line for saying that? Because if you look at it, I don't think I am. But because I'm wondering, so think about this. Think about this. There's a couple things that's going to be proven from Brad Holmes this offseason. One, okay, does he know how to draft an offensive line? You draft Penei Sewell, knock it out the park. You pair him up with Frank Ragnow and Taylor Decker. You have a top 3 offensive line, right? So now the Bob Quinn draft picks, one of them is gone in Frank Ragnow, and the other one, this is his last year with the team. All right, he's losing steam anyway. So you're going to have to replace those guys. So now can Brad actually draft an O-line? That's number one. And number two is he just a regular pedestrian GM? Dan is definitely still learning. Unfortunately, as long as tickets are selling, Brad Holmes ain't making a move. That's where we are, Steve. We're already at ticket selling, bro. Like, that's pathetic, man. From afar, I'll extend Dan, the God. You are 100% right. What move would you have liked him to do? Okay, so Jay, at the trade deadline, we needed offensive linemen, right? You didn't make a move. You know what I want, bro. I've been saying it for years. But if you look at the totality of Brad Holmes and what he's done, right, you start to see flaws. And he has not properly addressed, this is what he's done on the D-line, all right? The D-line is hit or miss in his drafts. D-line, draft number 1, you take Aleem McNeil, Levi. One out of those two worked out. Draft number 2, you take Josh Paschal and Aiden Hutchinson. One of those two worked out. Draft number 3, we didn't take anybody on the D-line. Draft number 4, we didn't take anybody on the D-line in the first 2 rounds. Draft number 5, we took Tyleik Williams. So out of those picks, 1 is too early to tell, and 2 drafts, he didn't take anybody on the D-line, right? Then you go to free agency. What do? Let me ask y'all this. DJ Reader right now, do you think with the Detroit Lions, he is an overachiever, underachiever, or right on par for what we signed him for? What do you think? You got Mekhi Wingo, James Houston, right? You didn't do what you should have done. In free agency, you signed Marcus Davenport. We knew he was going to be hurt. Everyone knew it. You signed Levi Onwuzurike, who has done nothing for your team, right? So for me, you have a need, and we know that Brad doesn't draft for need, right? He drafts BPA. All of that stuff, I'm telling you, man, this year is going to be a big deal. If the Lions make the Super Bowl, okay. If they win the Super Bowl, go. You know what I'm saying? Any Lions manager, general manager combo or coach combo that wins a Super Bowl, they will be the GOAT, period. But if you fall short of that, of at least an appearance this season, it's going to be a big deal, because not only have you regressed from a record point of view, you regressed from 2 years ago when you were in year 3 of a rebuild, and the team is going to look a whole lot different next year. Who knows? We might not even have a top 10 offensive line next year. Our defensive line has 4 people signed to it. The only secure spot is the secondary. That's really it. Everybody in the secondary will still be here, except, not when I say everybody, I mean our starters. Amik, he's the only one that needs to be re-signed. And I don't think he's going to take less money. All right, so DJ Reader says right on for DJ Reader, right on par. Okay, so that would be a win, right? So signing DJ Reader is a win. That's a good deal, right? But then you start looking at this. Why did we trade away Tim Patrick to draft Isaac Tesla? We drafted Isaac Tesla. We trade away Tim Patrick, and we don't even play Isaac. We gave up capital like this guy was going to play this year. Why did we do that? Right? So as we go into next year, all the all the stuff I'm saying and people have been saying the noise is going to get loud next year. If the Lions don't make a Super Bowl, the noise for Brad Holmes is going to get loud. All right, so let's take a look and see what we got. We got 42 votes, and you can only choose one who gets extended. 90% of you say Dan Campbell, and 10% say Brad Holmes. That's even worse than it was over on Syndicate Sports Detroit, and that is crazy. That's wow. I can't believe that. Brad Holmes is literally the guy who thinks he's the smartest guy in the room because he got 1 A+ in his life, Gibbs, and now he thinks he's better than everyone else in life. It's harder to pick up off of Dan, easier to replace Brad. What up, kid? We can only have Danielle Hunter, and Brad didn't do it. All right, so let's talk about this. So, and we'll talk about this Sunday and going forward. But we got, we'll be on next Thursday as well. But I think that the noise for Brad, like shout out to Let's Talk Lions, because Let's Talk Lions made a video today about Brad Holmes, and you watch Howie Roseman make moves. Now, here's what I love, right? I love this, and I'm noticing that there's a change in the fan base. There's starting to be a change in the temperature, if you will. I think that for a lot of fans, it was the trade deadline that really kind of start to shift your opinion on Brad Holmes. Not only did you not make a move, we had lost Christian Mahogany, right? He was already gone. So you knew we could have used an offensive lineman. You didn't make a move. Washington was ready to get rid of 2. You didn't make a move. You stood pat, right? Then to make matters worse, in my opinion, you go ghost at the trade deadline. You don't say anything. Then you got Howie Roseman, who says, we're not living with regrets. And then the Philadelphia Eagles come in and beat you. And then Jalen Phillips is a wrecking ball. He is a wrecking ball, bro. I had a comment yesterday on a video that I'm like, do y'all listen to my videos? Do you listen? Do you actually listen? Not hear, but listen. What is it that I've always been saying about the pass rush? What is it that there's a couple things that I've been standing firm on. One is the Detroit Lions pass rush. But Derek, we're 2nd in sacks, and you're still crying about it. Now we're 6th in sacks. Where's the guy? But Derek, Al-Qadim Muhammad is not a number 2. Where's Al-Qadim Muhammad been? Right? What have I always said about the pass rush? When it matters, can we get to the quarterback? When it matters, can we get to the quarterback? You take our big sack games away, right? We sacked Lamar Jackson 7 times. We sacked Caleb Williams 4. When did we have, how many times did we get to Mahomes? 4? So what I've always said is when it matters, when the game is on the line, do you have a guy opposite Hutch that can get to the quarterback? And right now we do not. That's it. LOL with the super chat says Broncos, Lions, Super Bowl will feed families. Yeah, well, one of them teams ain't. If the Lions had the Broncos defense, we'd be unbeatable. If our offense was rolling, like let's say our offense is like it was in week 2, 3, and 4, and we had the Broncos defense, bro, it is a wrap. It's a wrap, man. All right, let me see. Brad needs to get it together as far as the team needs. He is the most interesting person in the world, Bradley Holmes. That's funny. It's bad you said it. Brad got better O-line free agent, and Jalen Phillips been clutch. Let me see. Our only hope is Ahmed because he's becomes a dog at this point. AQM is a 4. Detroit is a better team than Philadelphia. I can't believe we lost that game. We're a better team than Minnesota, and we lost that game. We were a better team than the Kansas City Chiefs, and we lost that game. And I think we lost to the Green Bay Packers because we didn't play any in the preseason. So, again, I've been making noise for a long time. It's going to get louder if the Lions don't get to the Super Bowl. Believe me when I say it's going to get louder. Now everyone's going to be talking about is Brad Holmes the guy, because nobody is talking about that we're in year 5 of a rebuild. Nobody is talking about positional value anymore. Right? We're 3 years past that. Do you understand that next year Jahmyr Gibbs will be in year 4? Do y'all understand that? Like Jahmyr Gibbs is in year 4 next year. So positional value villain, you done worn that out, bruh. You done worn that out because, like I said, do y'all think that Brad Holmes is a pedestrian GM now? After the superpower of 2 first-round picks wore off, he pedestrian. I mean, because the second half of that 2023 draft is terrible. I don't even think one of them guys is on the team. Is anybody from the second half of the 2023 draft still on our team? I don't know. I know the 96 pick ain't. I know that for a fact. 2024, Vaki ain't really working out either, right? Then you go to you take 2 quarterbacks back-to-back. 2 quarterbacks back-to-back, and one of them played like 4 games. So I'm telling you, it's going to get loud this year. Yep, we are a SBO team. Brad Holmes is conceded. If the Lions miss the playoffs, it's going to be wicked. I don't see that happening, but if they do, it's going to be, for me, it's a Super Bowl. But I do think they make the playoffs. But right now, we're looking at the Rams. Hey, Lori, the Rams right now are killing the game. And if Matthew Stafford wins another one, oh my goodness, right? If he wins, even if he makes it, if Matthew Stafford makes a Super Bowl, it's going to, listen, anything short of a Super Bowl appearance for the Detroit Lions the noise is going to get loud. I promise you that. Because think about this. If the Lions make the Super Bowl, that means that they outlasted the Rams. They outlasted the Eagles. They outlasted the who else? The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, right? Right now, the Bears have a better record than us. And I know we got 7 games left, but the facts is the facts right now. And yes, the Bears have been squeaking past on wins. But again, I've been leading this charge from the beginning. Brad Holmes is he needs to take more risk, and not risky in the draft. I'm talking about free agent signings, right? So we'll see. What up, Michael? What's going on, man? Says with the super chat, $4.99. I appreciate you. Says, I think Brad doesn't trade because of all he missed at the others. Trinity Benson is an example. That's a good point. Can anybody tell me why did Brad Holmes trade for Donovan Peoples-Jones? Can anybody in the comments section tell me in 2023 we traded for DPJ? Why? What was the reason? What was the reason we traded for Donovan Peoples-Jones? When obviously we didn't need Donovan Peoples-Jones. It's almost like we just did it. For what? He is an above average GM, but not top 7. Today, Vegas put Rams as the favorite to win the Super Bowl. I'm going to tell you what. I'm watching the Rams, and I'm like, yo, the Rams is the real deal. They the real deal, bro. You get Kobe Turner. You get them guys on that D-line. You got a quarterback like Stafford, as much as it pains me to say that. I'm watching them, and I'm like, see, and it's crazy, bro. I don't know, man. Something feels different. I think, and I don't know how many Lions YouTubers are going to tell you this, but it feels like the novelty of winning has worn off. It feels like, because I think that Brad, as he should, he got a lot of credit year 1, 2, and 3 for taking this team from where it was, right? But think about this. If you're homeless, right, and you get put in a extended stay, which one is the better one? If you're homeless, you go from sleeping in a tent to sleeping in an extended stay. Of course, the extended stay for the win, right? But if you're in an extended stay and then you have to, if you're, and you get a chance to move to a 3-bedroom home, you're going to be like, yo, and you choose to stay in an extended stay, right? No other reason, you just choose to. That's what the Lions are in an extended stay right now. We came from being homeless and we in extended stay. We trying to get into that 3-bedroom, but we can't get there yet. I think that's why what Brad has done is so magnificent. Look at where we came from. We had the worst. This guy, Matt Patricia, was horrendous. So, of course, anything seems well. And the fact that, yeah, you made us a contender, and I use that word lightly. You made us a contender in 3 years. But do you realize that going into next year, it'll be 3 years since we were in an NFC Championship game? Like, time moved by fast, don't it? Especially when you ain't winning. It moved by super fast. See Pool with the super chat. And I can only see I can only see 10 comments at a time, so I'm not skipping over your comments. I'm only, I'm reading the ones that really jump out, or I look down and I'll see one. C. Pool with the super chat says, I read the Lions opponents have scored 60 of the drives. We have a sack. 40% of our sacks are 0 to 1 yard losses. Yeah, C. Pool, that happens when you're the only person that really gets to the quarterback is a guy coming off a leg injury. Like, next year, you're going to have to see it because Marvin Jones retired mid-season. Okay. All right. Okay. I get it. We probably had some practice squad dudes, and we signed Donovan Peoples-Jones. He had like 7 catches or something like that. But okay, I see it. They've been in the playoffs the past 3 seasons. That arc is who's been in the playoffs the past 3 seasons? I want to make sure I'm not speaking out of turn. Year 1 through 3, he had his work cut out for him. Not that hard to look good. It's crazy not to know that already. Said Brad could have went up 3 spots to grab DE before Rams did. I forgot his name. Brad has botched a lot of picks drafting players that can't even stay healthy. Hey, Lori. Lori says, with 100% talent, we won the championship. Brad Holmes needs to look at talent when we are getting to the big game. Some of your fan base will keep using the fact that look where we came from for excuses for Brad Holmes that are not good enough anymore. You know what? I don't think that's going. I think, yes, Art, yes. But what I'm saying is, if we don't make it to the Super Bowl this year, we will be, if going into next year will be 3 years since we were like not 3 years as in 1,000 days, but 3 seasons, 3 NFL seasons. Don't get it twisted. I do think we're making the NFC Championship game for sure. Okay, so that means, all right, so do you think that the Lions beat the Eagles in Philly in the playoffs? Do you think the Lions beat the Rams in LA? And we're going to get a real good taste of that here in 3 weeks. We're going to get a great taste. We're going to see how we shape up against the Rams in 3 weeks. Jared Verse, what's Sheila and Rod's role in this? Brad has people to answer to. It's being allowed to go out and spend. Is being allowed to go out and spend like the Rams and Eagles. Okay, Rail, that's a good point. That's a good point. And we don't really know. I don't think Sheila is a problem. I really don't. I don't think William was a problem. William Clayford was a problem. He was a problem. Then you got Martha. I think the only thing for me that Martha really did that I don't think that was the right thing to do is I think firing Jim Caldwell at the encouragement of Bob Quinn was the wrong thing to do. I think that was the wrong thing to do. But Sheila, I have no issue with Sheila. I don't think it's a money thing. We paid 9 people $1 billion. You saw Sheila in the draft room, and Brad is telling her about these players. She said, is he good? And Brad was like, here it is, right? I don't think Sheila's a problem at all. I don't think she's a problem at all. Let me see. We are going to win the next few games. I think we get lucky and Rams with Eagles get upset. I don't think we end up playing them both, but beat Rams or Eagles for sure. We're going to win the next few games, says, let me see. There has to be something to the Lions. There has to be something. The Lions are better than LA and Philly, though, right? I think the one plus that we have going for us versus last season is we are playing real teams this regular season, so we know what to expect if we make the playoffs. The question is, are we going to show up? Well, I'm going to keep it a buck, bro. Lions only beat one team over 500 this year, was the Buccaneers. Do we beat them if Chris Godwin and Mike Evans are actually in the game to finish the game? Right? I don't know. I mean, we pretty much, like, we've been going back and forth with the Bucs. And I think with the Bucs under Baker Mayfield, we are 1-2. We're like 1-1-1. So I don't know, bro. I don't know. I mean, because like I said, we've only beat one team that was over 500 at the time that we played them. So, and like we play the Giants, right? Speaking of Giants, let's move on to this game. The Giants, this is a game we should win. The Lions have not lost two consecutive games in over 3 calendar years. It's been 53 games or 55 games and 13 attempts. This will be the 14th time that the Lions have had to play after a loss. And they haven't lost in over 3 years. A second back-to-back regular season games, because I know y'all getting picky in the comment section. Y'all getting nitpicky. The Lions have not lost back-to-back regular season games. The last time they did that, check this out. Jamison Williams was still hurt. He was still on the NFI list. Aiden Hutchinson was a rookie. St. Brown and Panay Sewell were in year 2. That was the last time the Lions won or lost 2 back-to-back regular season games. And the New York Giants may or may not have Jackson Dart back. They're without their running back. They are without their wide receiver. But the Giants are a scrappy team. They've been in a lot of these games. They fired their coach. They're going to be playing for pride at this point. Oh, and let's not forget, they got the number 2 sack leader on their team in Brian Burns. Another move that was made. Now, I don't know why the Giants made that move. They weren't going to benefit from it, really. Right? But don't forget, the Rams tried to give up 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns, and they didn't. Carolina said no. After they traded for Matthew Stafford and won the Super Bowl, the LA Rams tried to give up another 2 first-round picks for Brian Burns after winning their first Super Bowl. And we brought this up earlier in the stream. Les Snead is forget them picks. Howie Roseman almost said that, because I'm going to tell you what, if the Cleveland Browns were a smart football team, Myles Garrett would be a Philadelphia Eagle right now. Right now. Howie was ready to give up 3 first-round picks for him. Now, the Lions were at a point where they could have afforded to give up a first-round pick. I don't think they're at that point now, because now we need some offensive linemen. We need some first-round offensive linemen. Aaron in the building says, not to mention, I think Jackson Dart is in concussion protocol and Scatterboo is out for the year. So Jackson Dart was practicing or something. I don't know if he's out of concussion protocol, but he should theoretically miss this week. Not to mention, okay, I read that one. You guys think the league is starting to figure us out? I mean, this offense been the same for 3 years. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Monty, etc. I don't think so, man. I think that Amon-Ra has something wrong with one of his fingers. We got a new offensive coordinator. I mean, we knew we were going to have some growing pains this year losing Ben. We knew we were going to have some growing pains, and we're seeing them right now. We're seeing them for sure. We need to find a way to stay healthy first. Never play 2 games in a row. Same players. You can't be great the way that Brad should have got C.J. Gardner-Johnson back. Bears just got him, for example. Yeah, Bears have 6 former Detroit Lions on their team. I missed Scott Daly the other day when I did that Bears video. They got 6 former Detroit Lions on their team, which is crazy. I'm Salty says, what up, Salty? What's good with you, bro? Been a minute. Says Rams reloaded and it's working. Yeah, they did. So check this out. Oh my God, bro. Yo. Oh, yo. All right. This is crazy. And this is when, this is why I think the fire, man. Brad Holmes, that seat gonna be hot on them cheeks, bro. All right, so check it out. Rams trade. They don't have a first-round pick when they traded for Matthew Stafford because they had traded for Jalen Ramsey. They win the Super Bowl the year they traded for Matthew Stafford, no first-round pick. The next 2 seasons, 22 and 23, those first-round picks went to the Detroit Lions. The Rams have been in contention every year but one with the year that their quarterback got hurt. And because he got hurt, we got the 6th pick and we had the 18th. That was the year we just missed the playoffs. The only reason that Brad Holmes is elevated to the status that he is because of where this team came from. I promise you that. That's it. Because like I told you, that superhero drafter, he gone. He's gone. Right now, he MIA. He's still in the booth changing. Without them 2 first-round picks, he don't look the same. And then can I do it, y'all? Let me do it one more time. I got to do it one more time, bro. Just give me one more time. With the 96th pick in the 2023 NFL Draft, you know the rest. You know the rest, bro. I'm out of time. A Quick says, I promise you, I think it has a lot to do with our offensive tempo. Go look at how we played last year compared to this year. Yeah, we also had a 3rd wide receiver last year. We don't have one. And the past 2 years, I know y'all can't stand it, man. Josh Reynolds was our 3rd wide receiver. We don't have one right now. That's a big deal. I'm not talking about Sam Laporta. I'm talking about a 3rd wide receiver that can get you 300-400 yards, that can make first down catches. We don't have that guy on this team. It's St. Brown. It's Jamison Williams. That's it. Kevin wanted to stay here, and we let him go to the Titans. Brad Holmes didn't do anything at the trade deadline. He didn't do anything in free agency. He just sat there silently at the trade deadline, and he should have went and got an offensive lineman or a DE. Can we poach? Less need. Brad got overzealous and saw that our defense was top 10 and said, we good. No, we ain't, bro. Could have stacked the deck and fortified the D-line. Yeah, and so now the Lions are in a sticky situation. They got 4 defensive linemen under contract next year. Our offensive lineman has to be retooled. The retool that Brad Holmes was talking about in 2021, that's going to happen next year. I'm not going to call it a rebuild next year. And it's solely because if you look at our team, there's only 38 people under contract. 38 people. That's it. So, or it's either 37 or 38 because DJ Reader has void years. So we're going to be paying him even though he may not be on this team. I think that the Detroit Lions are going to re-sign Josh Paschal. I think they're going to let Davenport walk. They're going to let Levi walk. I think Josh Paschal returns to the Detroit Lions. All right, so I just got a text or a notification. Mike Garofolo says Jackson Dart worked in a limited capacity again today. So he looks like he might play. He looks like I wouldn't play him, bro. Hey, bro, would you drop a playoff machine video for the rest of the schedule? Okay, so LOL, but what would be the point though? What, like, give me a point. Like, what is the point of that? Reynolds and Patrick were good. It better be getting toasty because I swear. Hey, all I'm saying is that the novelty of winning is wearing off. The novelty of what Brad Holmes has done in the time that he's done it is wearing off because we're getting further from that time. And also, like I said, Brad Holmes appears to be super pedestrian. You just think about this. So in year number 2, our pick, we take Aiden. You use the Rams pick to trade Jamison, to trade for Jamison. Nobody had us taking Jamison Williams. It was a hit, right? Even though he was hurt, everybody loved it. Year 2, the whole Jahmyr Gibbs thing. A lot of y'all wanted Jalen Carter. We trade back. We take Jahmyr. And I think that's the moment that changed Brad as a GM. You know, positional value villain is a shirt that he wore after the trade for Jahmyr Gibbs. So now we going, and this whole stream has been about Brad, which is crazy because I think now fans are starting to see that something's got to change. Let me see. Michael says, do you think we will trade one of our players for 2 first-round picks? Michael, who could we trade that could get 2 first-round picks? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no because everyone that we could trade to get 2 first-round picks, who on our team right now could get you 2 first-round picks? Hutch. Aiden Hutchinson could get you 2 first-round picks. St. Brown, you think St. Brown could get you 2 firsts? Do you think J-Mo could get you 2 firsts? Mr. says, Grid, I'm going to be honest. I think we could get 2 road playoff games as a wild card. Steve says, based on offensive rank, Lions are 6th seed, but the offense continue to decline. We're definitely out. The Lions are starting to fade a little bit. I'm starting to worry. What impact players would you put for trade that are not under contract? And we only lose games because we lose discipline. Okay, Hutch, Panay, and St. Brown, and maybe Gibbs. Oh, what did Christian McCaffrey go for? I think Gibbs would go for something like that. Did Christian go for 2 firsts? That's another thing too. Like, look at what it didn't pay off in terms of winning a Super Bowl. But since the trade for Christian McCaffrey, the 49ers have been to at least 1 Super Bowl, right? Like, what are we doing, man? And I think, like I said, I can't say this enough. We got to get through this season. The first thing the Lions got to do is make it to the playoffs. Then they got to make it to the Super Bowl. The earlier the Lions are eliminated from playoff, meaning if they don't make it or if they get bounced out in the divisional, the wild card, the louder the noise will start to get. And I think it's only going to be for one man, because all of the stuff that I'm pointing out this offseason is going to be scrutinized. And then you have the end of season press conference, right? When Brad starts talking that end of season press conference, it's going to be a lot of questions, and depends, like, why did you stay? Now we can finally ask him. So think about this. Lions don't make the Super Bowl. What's the first thing that's going to come up? To me, the first thing that's going to come up is, why didn't you make a move at the trade deadline? Why didn't you make a move at the trade deadline? You know, you could have used an offensive lineman. Like, think about this. This is our team. Marcus Davenport, Josh Pascal, Kirby Joseph, who's probably going to miss another game, DJ Reed, who will eventually come. Like, this is our team. We have to win the Super Bowl with this team. That's it. Snead, Howie Roseman, Ravens GM, all better than Brad. We all saw this happening during the offseason. Danny, didn't we know? Didn't we, bro? And you know what really blows my mind is I had a fit when we re-signed Marcus Davenport. I'm just like, you can't be serious. I was wrong about DJ Reader and Tim Patrick. I will eat crow on that one. But I'm like, what are we doing here? And I think, like, that's the moment I was like, yo, I'm done crashing out. I'm done. And then, but I did crash out at the draft. I did crash out for the draft. Man. I did. A lot of Lions fans act like Brad can do no wrong. Hey, Jay, that will change this year. Anything less than a Super Bowl, that will change. I'm telling you right now, it's going to be a lot of finger pointing at Brad Holmes if the Lions do not make a Super Bowl. This is the most we've talked about Brad in a very long time. This is the most we have not really talked about him this much. But now all the attention is on him. Man, Hunter Gray says we need to get back to the championship right now, bro. No excuses. I was screaming O-line since we heard about Glasgow, Tate flip-flopping in camp. Before preseason started, my hope was wild card spot. Now, this is what it looks like. Brad doesn't give a fart about the pass rush. Hey, Jay, that was a direct quote, bro. That was a direct quote. That's exactly what I said. What's up, James says, I'm with you, Derek. Only thing Brad Holmes is good at is reclamation projects that come cheap shoes, homes. That's all he is. Cheap, even though we have the most expensive tickets in the NFL. Brad Holmes' issue, he isn't good at drafting as Seattle or Tampa GM, so he doesn't want to overspend or give up too much draft capital. He has to hit on every late pick, which he hasn't. Okay, so we had this conversation before. Picks after the 4th round, who would you consider is a hit that has been drafted after the 4th round? What Brad Holmes draft picks would you consider a hit that was drafted after the 4th round? Not in the 4th round, after the 4th round. Don't forget, Derek Barnes and Amon-Ra St. Brown are 4th round picks. I can name one, Malcolm Rodriguez. You can also say Christian Mahogany if you want to. Yes, we already Derek, I'm feeling like 60%, bro. Like I still start sweating. That's why I think I really had COVID, because I wake up still sweating at, sometimes I get too hot. So I'm not 100%, man. It's been over 2 weeks and I'm still not 100%. All right, we got about 10 minutes left of the show. Yep, Malcolm Rodriguez for sure. Broderick Martin was taken in the 3rd round, bro. You might be thinking of where he should have been taken. He was taken in the 3rd round. Hey, Derek, Brad has hit on players in the draft, but he is a no-show when it comes to trades on things we need on this team. LOL says, can we trade for Jalen Phillips? Brad be like, we got a good pass rusher at home. And you know what I think, fellas and ladies? And I don't know what this says about his character, and I have no way of proving that this is true. But watching Jalen Phillips, I watched him right before he get traded, and then I watched him the first game with the Eagles, and then against the Lions. Is it just me, or Jalen like, yo, I'm playing on a bad football team. I'm probably gonna get traded. I ain't gonna play 100%, because he didn't really look like he was playing 100%. And then all of a sudden, he gets traded to Philly and says it's the best thing that's happened in his life. Like, dog, that's more than getting drafted in the NFL, period. That's crazy. And check this out. If Jalen Phillips, oh my God, I'm starting to get mad, bro. If Jalen Phillips, okay, follow me here. Lions trade a 3rd round pick for a wide receiver that we're not using. Then we trade away the wide receiver we could have been using for a 6th round pick. Then Jalen Phillips gets traded to the Eagles for a 3rd round pick. And then if he walks in free agency and signs a deal, then the Eagles could get a 3rd round pick back. And they might have a 2nd consecutive Super Bowl. You know who I see? I see Rams-Eagles. I see Rams-Eagles. NFC Championship game. Rams-Eagles. That's what I see. That's what I see. I guarantee you, man, all off season long, we're only talking about Brad. I guarantee. That's when everybody else is going to be like, Brad. The first question that somebody's going to ask him at the end of season press conference is, why didn't you make a move at the trade deadline? Okay. Wait, James Houston is balling in Dallas. Are we saying that he's balling in Dallas? Are we gonna push it that far that he's balling in Dallas? Yes. I heard Brad offered a 4th or 5th for Jalen. Yeah, he had to, Dolo. We didn't have a 3rd. Remember MCDC said we might have to take a look at what we've invested in. We about to go through a retool and haven't won anything. Hey, you know what, Steve? Steve, don't say that, bro. That's wrong. Okay, we got 2 consecutive NFC North championships. Come on, dog. NFC North titles. Come on, dog. Don't do us like that. We won. We left here with something, and we had never done that before. So I wouldn't say that. Dan probably to blame too, but I put it all on Bradley. Hey, Revolution, I put it all on Bradley Mathias. Because, and I said this on Syndicate Sports, look, I'm about to cook. Where my chef had at? Where my chef? I'm about to cook. We thought it was cute. We thought this whole buddy-buddy relationship between coach and GM, no strife, no stress, no animosity, no disagreements. We agree on the same. If Brad likes him, I'm good with it. That's what Dan said, right? But the buddy-buddy, what other, and if there's another team out there, let me know. What other team, NFL team that you know of, has the relationship between coach and general manager that we have, right? Brad, the reason I don't put it on Dan is because Brad is the boss. Brad is the boss. Brad is the general manager of the Detroit Lions. That's what Brad's job is to do. He is the general manager, right? So in hierarchy, he's higher than the coach. So don't he have last say? Then you would go what? Him, then probably Rod Wood, and then Sheila. Sheila at the top of the food chain. She owns the whole franchise, right? So hierarchy, you got players, you got coaches, you got GM, you got president, you got owner. And it might be something in between there. So for me, I can't put it on Dan. I'm not putting it on Dan. If coach said, hey, I don't like this guy, coach could tell, here's what coach can say, hey, these are the guys that I want. Make it happen. Brad can say, all right, I know you like this guy, but what about this guy? Well, that ain't really what I want. A little bit of disagreement, right? But he's a good player. So I can't put it on, I'm not putting it on Dan at all. Let me see. Brad Wife, we need to address the O-line for sure. Yeah, Lauren. Yeah. And now our time to address a pass rusher outside of Aiden is going to be difficult unless we do it through the draft. It's a lot of cats locked up. I think it's a lot of like the top tier pass rushers are locked up. Let me see. Should have gave a second. This is what I don't understand, though. They said that we called about Trey and was offering a second, but after the deadline, the Bengals said that the highest offer was a fourth. Hey, Reg, I said the same thing. I was actually going to make a video about that. Somebody lying. Either it was bad source information, and maybe nobody's lying, like an intentional lie. It could have been bad information. It could have been one of those, the second or the fourth. Something out of there is bad information, and maybe somebody got it. As the saying goes, it starts at the top. I think Campbell just agrees with everything, no matter what. What exactly does Rod Wood do? That's a really good question. How do we get comp picks, draft picks, Lauren? So if a coordinator, a minority coordinator is hired in a position like as a head coach or something like that, then you'll get 2 third-round compensatory picks. So we got 2 for Aaron Glenn. We didn't get any for Ben because he's not considered a minority. Now, when a player leaves, it depends on the contract that they sign. So there's not a formula, like we can't come up with the formula. The NFL only has that formula. But essentially, the higher, so it's like a trade-off. So the higher the contract, so if let's say somebody walks in free agency and they sign a deal of this caliber, but then we sign a player that is not on the same level of that player that we lost, then we get a comp pick. But if somebody walks in free agency, but it's almost like an equal or lesser value, right? But the formula they use is proprietary or whatever they do. But basically, if you lose more than you get, is when you get a comp pick. And it goes from anywhere from a 3rd round pick to a 7th round pick. Campbell doesn't want to cause no waves when a player leaves for free agency. Isn't Rod Wood like a friend of the Fords that got him hired in? Could be. Anyone see MCDC comments on David Montgomery yesterday? What, that they want to get him playing more? Well, then play him more. Hold on. I was like, what are we doing here? What are we doing? What, was that a joke? Come on, coach. What? You literally ran the brother 6 times in a game that he was supposed to be running all over. That was David Montgomery's game to run against that D-line, the Eagles D-line. Come on, dog. And you ran them 6 times? Come on, man. That's crazy. Rod Wood raised our ticket prices to the highest in NFL history. I feel like they're milking fans because they know after this they might lose some support. So here's also how I'll say this as we wrap the show up. It's just a matter of put up or shut up. That's where we are. Lions still got time. Is it over for the Lions? Of course not. It's not, because you got to be playing your best football in December. You got to be playing even better football in January, right? Lions have a top 10 defense going into week 12. They've got, but they have issues, and some of those issues, last year was attrition. This year is an offensive line, right? Last year, the year before that, it was a D-line. It really was. So we got time. I think if the Lions are going to win the Super Bowl, it's going to have to be on a perfect run. And what I mean by that is, now, of course, you have to go perfect in the playoffs. That's how you win the Super Bowl. Like, literally, the one team that goes perfect win the Super Bowl. I mean, but what I mean is the offense, Jared Goff being super accurate, the offensive line blocking, the D line being on fire. Like, everything's gonna have to work because we're lacking in some spots, specifically the offensive line and opposite Aiden. I mean, you could even say our interior line. I mean, it's crazy, bro. DJ Reader, Tyleek Williams, and I'll let Aleem off the hook. They have no sacks. That is crazy to me. Your rookie started, the rookie only started because Aleem was hurt. And then your other DT has no, bro, like, that is concerning to me. And then the Cowboys went and got Quinnen Williams, which we play them in a few days, like in 2 weeks. So I don't know, bro, but all I'll say is this. The Lions have time. It's not over till it's over. It ain't looking too good, but it ain't over till it's over. However, if the Lions fall short of a Super Bowl appearance, you are going to hear the noise about Brad is not just going to be coming from me. It's going to be coming from everywhere. And it's going to be the loudest it's been since he got here. Like, real talk. It has been, I'm going to put it like this. Year 6 is what they're going into. It has already been half a decade. I know I'm being dramatic because half a decade is much more dramatic sounding than 5 years, right? I've been out of school for more than a quarter century. Oh, right? But it's been 20-something years. It's been 28 years. 28 years is bad enough, but a quarter century is like, dog. You know what I'm saying? It hit a whole lot different. So if the Lions fall short, you're going to see more eyes and more questions and more finger pointing from the media about Brad Holmes. Is Brad Holmes, because the novelty is of winning. Okay, so what? We've won the NFC Championship. So what? You hit it out the park with Jahmyr Gibbs. You're now paying 9 people $1 billion. So what, right? You have to show results. I mean, the NFL literally stands for not for long. Jared Goff has one bad game and you want to trade him. You want to trade him from one bad game. The dude led the league in completion percentage. 1 out of every 4 passes was incomplete for Jared Goff, and y'all want to get rid of the guy, right? Brad Holmes has had heat. I'm telling you, that's what's going to happen. We got a super chat, then we'll wrap the show up from Charles Bosnack. Says, do you think Brad didn't get Hutch help because how much Hutchinson price tag would have gone up based on how good he was before teams caught on? Charles, I don't think that was it at all. I think Brad believes in his method, which is that no amount of talent is going to get you on this team. I was clowning Andrew Van Ginkel beyond measure. I was making fun of the dude. Andrew Van Ginkel would be a stud on this team. I was making jokes about him. Oh, this is the type of guy Brad would sign. Andrew said, hey, I was just getting started. Now, I don't know if I would have paid what they paid for him, but it's paying off. It's paying off. I know the Minnesota Viking offense sucks, but it's paying off right now. Brad chose this. He chose to sign Marcus, just like people get mad at me because of what he does. Am I lying to say that Brad drafts and signs injured players? He literally signs them off season-ending injuries. He literally DJ Reader, DJ Chark, that's the guy I was looking at, Tim Patrick, like it go Emmanuel Mosley, Marcus Davenport, it goes on and on and on. That's what he does. But people get mad at me because I say it. That's crazy to me. Anyway, that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. I will be live on Sunday. I think we're going to do a secondary game as well. I think it's going to be the night game that we're going to do. Watch as it don't hit like it would have if we would have beat the Philadelphia Eagles, but the Dallas Cowboys are playing the Philadelphia Eagles. The Lions aren't done just yet. They're not going to make too much ground this week. But if we can get this win, handle business over the Giants, and we get a little help right? From get some help with a Packers loss, a Bears loss, even a Vikings loss. We get maybe the Rams. I mean, you've seen stranger things happen, right? If we can get a little help, then now we're going to be in conversations. I don't know. I mean, we still got time for the first seed. We're not going to get it playing like this. And, you know, we've seen teams crumble down the stretch. So it ain't over. Now this time next month, it'll be pretty much like, you know, at the end of that rope. So with that being said, man, I will see y'all on Sunday. All right. Subscribe to the channel. Check out Syndicate Sports Detroit. And I will see you guys then. Go Lions. I almost forgot. Members, if you are a director member and you have been a director member for 6 months or more, you're supposed to get a milestone reward. I will say it once a month. After that, it's up to you. All right. Email me. Let me know. I'll get it out for you as soon as possible. I'm not going to continue to chase y'all. It's in your, you know what I'm saying? Like, I will give it to you, but I need to know that you want it. All right. So now we can end the stream.